New reality show alert. Let's talk about Beauty Bar.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to pull my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for season 1, episode 1 of Beauty Bar. Beauty Bar is it's a new reality show. It's based around a Dominican beauty salon. They do hair and they actually do makeup. Is what's basically going on there. It's in Inwood, New York, called House of Dolls. Let's go through some of these characters, and they are characters, let me tell you. First, we got Talia. Talia is pretty. She's a very pretty girl, but I'm not so sure about her and what her whole background story is. I know she talks about problems with her family and being basically disowned from her family. So I'm looking at her, like I said, she's very pretty. She's a makeup guru, but something about Talia says trans woman to me. So I'm looking at her. I don't know. She's either a trans woman or she's just a woman that has way, way too much work done. But she's beautiful. I'll give her that. The bitch is beautiful. So we got her. Then we have Kevin. Kevin is a makeup artist as well. Very, very cute little gay boy. He is just as cute as he can be. Absolutely adorable. He's very mild tempered and just very lovable. He's very, very likable. Cute little thing. And he has family acceptance issues as well. He has basically been shunned from his family because of his sexuality. And he's not doing real well with it. Him and Talia are pretty much besties. Then we have V. V is, she calls herself a color queen. She is a hair coloring specialist. From what I've seen, she's pretty bad with some hair color. She's bisexual, is what she says at first. But then as she moves forward, you find out she's more of a lesbian than she is bisexual. But cool, real sharp girl. She's real sharp, short haircut, real, she has a real edgy look to her. But she's sharp. Now, she's loud. She's very loud, but I give a lot of space to her because she is Dominican. So, Dominican women can be kind of the voice of the party. So I'll give some allowance for that. For her, that's just her lineage. So you got to give space for that. They are kind of, more upbeat. So it's a little different, So it's fine. But V is loud and extra. When you get down to the core of her, she's actually a nice person, I believe. I believe she's really a nice person and actually fun. But she's just over the top, and then sometimes it just becomes annoying over the top. And she is an attention hog. She is definitely an attention hog. She's an attention whore, very much so. But again, she's the thing that reality shows are made of. So she is definitely a need as far as this show goes. I don't know that I could do V all day, every day. I'm sure I couldn't. Next, we got Nautic. Nautic is like this with V. That's her bestie. He's a hairstylist and he has aspirations to be a rapper. Nautic is interesting. He's an interesting person. Very likable. Very laid back. He is, to sum it all up, he's V's complete opposite. It's her complete opposite. Okay, and then we got another set. Princess and Rail. And they basically come like that. Princess and Rail, they're besties. Princess is a hairstylist who specializes in weaves and wigs. She calls herself a weaveologist. And then Rail is basically a loctician. And he's a loctician, and he also is pretty much Princess's her assistant and her sidekick, okay? And they actually refer to the two of them as Hansel and Gretel because the two of them are actually not from Inwood. They're not from the New York area. They kind of moved there and all of that. Though Princess was born in, I think she said Brooklyn, but they were in, I think, Atlanta or somewhere else, and then they moved there. So they're the outsiders, Hansel and Gretel. And then we have Henry and Tess. Henry and Tess are the Henry's the owner. Tess is the co-owner. Baby Henry is pumped to the gods. That child got work in his face. I believe he got work in his ass. Child, I said, oh, you just stay out of the chair, honey. He's giving. I said, oh, he's pumped like a drag queen. Like, seriously, like a pre-op transsexual is how his work is done. And I'm like, ooh, girl, your face is shiny, Miss Thing. And it's pulled so tight. I said, girl, don't trip. If you trip, bitch, you come up looking like somebody different, honey. So, woo. But he seems pretty tame, but I don't think it would be a good thing to be on his bad side, is what I get. Yeah, I don't think I would want to be on his bad side because I think as mild as Henry comes across, I think Henry could probably be a bit of a motherfucker too. So, Tess kind of is the mirror image, I think, of Henry. So, one thing that I will say right away, I think they let a little bit too much go on in their salon. And again, I'm a licensed cosmetologist, so I have actually spent years working in the salon, and there's just some things that just cannot go on, and you should not even allow to begin to go on, because once it starts, all that loud behavior on the floor and all this yelling and screaming over top of clients, that's a mess. And it happens more times than not in salons, but it's a real bad look. And they let a little bit too much of that go on. I was surprised to see that Henry actually doesn't have a separate section away from the other stylists at the House of Dolls. He basically is right there on the floor with them. And I'm like, I mean, that's a good look. But at the same time, for you to be out there with them, you let too much go on. But anyway, that's just my personal opinion. But I guess if he didn't, then they wouldn't have a show now, would they? Anyway, moving on. First things first. There's a whole thing with V and it's more V. It's not Nautic, because Nautic tells her, that's ridiculous. V feels as though she wants to be the main attraction, okay? And with Princess being there, it's kind of hard for her. So she purposely creates tension and disdain and confusion when it comes to Real and Princess. And they ain't really for the bullshit. Like, seriously. And it's just loud. Amara La Negra from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Love and Hip Hop Miami was actually brought into the show. And so she's a celebrity client. And she was actually, Henry gave her to Princess. Well, V had a problem with that. She was mad. And she carried on something terrible. She just carried on and told Amara while she was sitting in the chair, you should let me do your hair. I mean, she was just really doing the absolute most. And then she was kind of downing Amara's hairstyle after it was done. And Amara liked it. And she was just really being a bitch, basically. I don't have another way to say it. She was being a bitch the whole time Amara was there. And by the time Amara got done, Amara ended up cussing V out on her way out the door. So I could imagine that she would never visit the salon again. And I'm like, that's where I was like, Henry, how are you letting this go on? Like, I'm just hoping that this is just being done for the show, because I can't even imagine you running a salon like this and allowing this type of bullshit to go on the floor. And I was like, okay, so I see where Princess has her issue with V. See, I've been to smack V in the mouth. But it was too much. It was really too much. After that, they kind of went into a little bit of the background story of Princess and Rail, and we found out how they got to be so tight. They were actually friends, like literally since they were in like middle school. And then as they got grown, something happened. They were out one night, and Rail actually got jumped by a group of guys and was all put in the hospital. He got gay bashed, basically. And there was a lot of pieces of that story was missing that they didn't tell. But all in all, he ended up all balled up. And Princess dropped everything and actually took care of him. So the two of them are like inseparable, and now they've moved to New York. They are both their roommates and everything like that. Rail petty too. Okay, Rail's petty, and the shade throwing was really for both. It was for Rail and for Princess, but Rail has actually taken it on. So Rail was being petty like one day at work with V. He throwing shade and she throwing shade. Then they end up being into a whole thing. But Rail's basically throwing shade because of what she did to Princess with Amara. And it just was messy as hell. It was messy on Rail's part. It was messy on V's part. Absolutely. The both of them, I think the both of them were wrong. And they actually had this thing. And then she literally is running up on him and all of this. And I'm like, oh, God, you all in this bullshit of running up on these men. It's like, stop doing that. But he was aggravating her, but still, you got to stop, because the first time he pops you, then it's going to be this whole issue. You cannot be running up on, lesbian or not, stop it. Stop it. Anyway, so that's that whole thing going on. The beef is just useless. And all of that mess going on, and it was going on right over top of a client. Henry was doing a client. He was doing a hair fusion. And the client's just sitting there and y'all doing all this. I said, that's trifling. That's trifling. I can't with that. And the bad part is, when you look at the friendship between Rail and Princess, and you look at the friendship between Nautic and V, they are exactly alike. Those two friendships are literally parallel. And if they let the bullshit go, the four of them probably would have a ball. They would probably make a dynamic circle of friends, because they are exactly alike. They're exactly alike. Rail's a little messy, but his personality really is laid back, the same as Nautic's. And Princess and Princess and V are both two bitches that are extra. They would probably make a really cool circle of friends, and they would probably really enjoy each other if they just tried. But again, this could be being done for the show, but this is what the things that reality shows are made of. So it is what it is. Let's ride with it. So Kevin's birthday is coming up. So they have this birthday party for Kevin. Go to the party. V got on my nerves. I told you I made some exceptions because of her lineage. But she just was extra. Everything has got to be about you. You do not have to be the center of attention, and that's what she was given. When they did happy birthday, she's screaming and yelling. You're all out in the middle of the floor. Everybody look at me. Everybody look at me is what I got. She really got on my nerves at that party. I was like, girl, I just wanted to punch her on the top of her head. Everything had to be about her. You got to carry the cake out. You know, you're just the center of everything. And the party, from what I'm looking at, seems to have been thrown by Henry and Tess. So why do you have to be the middle girl? And you would think if there was going to be a middle girl, it would have been Talia. Because Talia's his bestie. Girl, you doing too much. But anyway, that was that. So they had all that going on. And like I said, V needs to sit down. Kevin came away from the party, and Tess and Talia went with him, and he wanted to call his mom. And he called his mom, and it was like a little scene. It was a little moment. She didn't answer. It went to voicemail. He left her a voicemail and told her, he really wanted to talk to her or whatever. Start 25. Comes back, goes back to the party, and then they had a surprise. Henry had a surprise. He had got him a stripper, and they put the chair down, put him in a chair, gave him a stack of ones, and the stripper did a lap dance for Kevin. That stripper was tired, honey. Tired. Where y'all get them from? I know good and well in New York. Honey, who's this? Y'all, I said, child, y'all in New York, y'all can find some strippers, honey. You don't have to go grab nobody off the corner and tell them, okay, now you're a dancer, honey. He was a mess. But they did all that. And it was really coincidental and really set up by staffing, because after they did the little dance, Kevin got up and went on about his business, and Rail ended up sitting down in the chair. Now, they flashed the camera over to Rail anyway when the stripper was dancing, and it was Rail giving all this extra. And I'm like, this is the setup for some bullshit. Sure enough, Rail sat down in the chair, and the stripper just came from stage left with a drink in his hand and just straddled Rail and just started dancing. And then he's all giving a drink to Rail while he rubbing and grinding, and Rail's drinking out of his drink. I said, you nasty bitch. You don't even know him, honey. You drinking out of his drink, girl? You're going to get the heebie-jeebies, bitch. But anyway, he's doing all this. And then V just took one after. It's like, Rail, And she's like, did Rail just take Kevin's dancer? She made this whole case about it. Then after that, Princess pulls V to the side, and you got Nautic, V, Rail, and Princess. Princess approaches her and tells her basically, what you're not going to do, you're not going to keep coming after my friend. He's a man, and that's what I'm here for, and you're not going to keep doing it. I'm going to have to hurt you about my best friend. Now, I've let you go through some things. You ran up on him. I didn't care for it, but you got away with that. But girl, you're going to have to stop, or I'm going to bust your ass about my friend, honey. That's all it is. And, it was real up close and personal. And, honey, Miss V got to saying something, baby, and threw a glass down and broke the glass. Honey, Princess was so unbothered with that. She took her hand and mushed her whole goddamn face. I said, oh, shit. She had these cute little sunglasses, child. They went flying. She gave her. I said, oh. Talking that shit. And then she was back there screaming and yelling and jumping up and down. And they jumping up and down. And so nobody touches my face. Nobody else. Because she sure took her whole hand and mushed your face, honey. And probably tore up your good glasses, honey. So now people do touch your face, bitch. I said, oof. Okay. And that's basically where it ended out at, of the mushing of the face, honey. I said, you did ask for that, though, girl. Anyway, all right, so that's Beauty Bar, and I'll catch y'all with this next week. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this little show, honey. All right, it's drama and mess. It's true mess. True mess. It ain't nothing but really black ink crew put into a hair salon. But, whatever. All right, y'all. Later.